What up, y'all? I want to tell you about something that I remind myself of frequently. It's a quote, and it is simply this: You're rather corny or an opportunist. And I think this is so profound because they're really the same thing, just at different parts of the timeline. And I have a ton of examples to paint this, but I have two really good ones that I like to think about. The first one being Jim Carrey. There's a story about him. He carried a $10 million check in his wallet written out to him in the future. And if you heard this like from a friend right now, you'd be like, dude, that's the corniest shit ever. Like, put my fries in the bag, little bro. But you know what? Now that he's rich and famous, people are like, dang, he believed in himself. That is so inspirational. Man, I love that. You're an opportunist, man. But he's not corny. At once he was corny, now he's an opportunist. Another speech, this is more historically rooted. Theodore Roosevelt, you might have heard it before. The man in the arena speech is what people call it. And you got two people. The man in the arena, he's all dirty and he's working. He's making mistakes, but you know what? He's moving forward. He's plodding forward. And then you have the guy in the crowd, clean white t-shirt, and he's saying, "Oh, you could have done this better. You could have done that better." But this guy, there's two difference, you know. This guy in the arena, he's putting in that work. In this case, he's that corny guy that's willing to make mistakes, but he's dirty. He's putting in the work and he's learning and he's achieving. Then you have the guy in the stands, and he's the guy saying, "Oh, you know what? Like you know, you could have done this better." But this guy in the stands, he touts himself as a smart man. People think he's smart because he says, "Oh, he could have done this better. He could have done that better." It might be true, but the guy in the stands, he was scared and he's a loser at the end of the day. He's not smart. He's just scared of all the risk that he's not willing to take. So he's not going to achieve anything. But the guy in the arena that's making these mistakes, he's going to go so much further and he's going to gain the respect of his peers through his hard work and he will eventually succeed. It might just take some failures. So I don't care if people think you're corny. One day they're going to tell you that you were an opportunist and that you just got to keep going because I promise you they're all gonna switch up once you succeed.